Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to another Mindset Monday video. I hope all is going well and that you are at least enjoying some time, some downtime for this holiday Memorial Day weekend or Memorial Day. Today is the holiday being observed. So welcome. My name is Patty Diaz, and today I have a perspective shift on Mercury retrograde, which we are currently in. And I will be sharing 3 questions that you can ask yourself during this time and to keep in mind when things maybe get a little bit challenging during this Mercury retrograde time. And I am finding us on my page so that I can see comments. And so while I do that, oops, there we go. So let me introduce myself before I jump into all the great information. My name is Patty Diaz. I am the founder of Blue Moon Manifestations. I am a magical life coach and magical mentor specializing in helping you live a life of magic. And for me, magic consists of the moon and manifestation, abundance, gratitude, intention, and clarity. And I teach those components so that you can break free from merely going through the motions and in a mundane sort of way and create a life designed by you instead of one designed for you, and then go out and live that life unapologetically on your own terms, doing what you love and enjoying the life that you are here to enjoy. Hello, Gabriela. Good to see you. Thank you for joining today. So Mercury retrograde. We are currently in Mercury retrograde. It started, we're day 3, I think. So a few days ago. I don't know the number off the top of my head. And a lot of people have a negative connotation or misconception about Mercury retrograde, that things go wrong. It's brutal. Just everything collapses electronically, that things don't work right. And that can be true. It can be true. But the thing that I'm bringing to you, because it is Mindset Monday today, is taking a different perspective on Mercury retrograde, because all of the challenges in life are here to teach us something, right? So if we start looking at Mercury retrograde, because it happens periodically several times per year, as these opportunities to maybe take a step back, shift our thinking, go into it with a positive attitude, or at least an accepting mindset. Have as much fun with the quirky things that happen, because if you laugh at them, they're just not as serious, right? They're not as serious. Anytime you laugh at something that, might be a disaster, and then you laugh it off and chuckle about it, it's not as serious. It doesn't feel as serious to you. And other people also say, oh, well, okay, that's not so bad then. That's not so bad. And keep moving forward. So just real quick, I will show you what I mean. So I associate Mercury retrograde at a time, I associate it with like the Hanged Man of the tarot cards, because you look at this at first and you're like, oh no, that's awful. But really, he's just seeing things from a new perspective. He's not really in trouble. He's got one leg free. He can probably get up and unloosen the other one. And think of it that, those back inversion things, where you just like hang upside down for a while and it has all these positive effects. Think about it that way. How can I see things from a new perspective? What is this trying to show me? And I'm actually getting into my questions. So let me go down them in order. And just so you know, this time around, Mercury will be in retrograde until June 22nd. And the reason that all the computer things people say, like, oh, they always go wrong in Mercury retrograde, is because Mercury is the planet associated with communication. So we communicate through our electronics, through our devices, right? That's a form of communication. Also listening and speaking and writing, all these things are included in communication. So those are all things that might seem wonky or difficult. Maybe someone that you really never argue with, you have little spats or disagreements, and that's because of this communication connection. So instead of just grumbling about it, here are 3 questions that you can ask yourself and keep in mind during Mercury retrograde. First of all is, how can I see this differently? How can I look at this from a new perspective? Because a lot of things, most things, look differently when we look at it from a different angle. Or for example, like when I go on a walk and I use the follow the same routine or the same path for a while, but then randomly sometimes I go the opposite direction, I see completely different things. Even though it's the same streets and the same blocks, but I'm going in an opposite direction, I see things differently, or some things I hadn't even seen before, because when I'm walking past them this way, I don't notice them. But approaching them from the opposite direction, I do. So how can I see things differently? What could this be trying to teach me? Or what can this teach me? And that question's not always that much fun, but just keep that in mind, because the lessons and the struggle, or the challenges and the struggles, are there to teach us something. So how can I see this differently? What can this be trying to teach me? Maybe there's a new way to do things. Maybe now is not the right time. Maybe the way you're approaching it could be done differently. And lastly, how can I slow down to speed up? I included this question because it's one that my coach asks frequently, because that is actually something we should do intentionally as well. Slow down, see what needs to be changed, see what can be tweaked, see what we have learned. And then with that knowledge and that insight, then we can gain that momentum back up, right? So since Mercury is in retrograde, which is appearing to go backwards, it's like, how can I slow down and then make these little tweaks and changes, or maybe even rest and not be as active, not being doing, hustling all the time, so that then when I start back up again, I can gain momentum and go further than I would have had if I just kept going full bore the entire time. So that is all I have for you today. It's a Mindset Monday quickie, so to speak. Change your perspective about Mercury retrograde. Look at it with, what can I learn, and see things differently. And the 3 questions again are, how can I see this differently? What is this trying to teach me, or what can this teach me? And how can I slow down to speed up? And then Mercury retrograde may not be that challenging at all, okay? And I'll just leave you with a quick little snippet as an example. I just thought of this as I popped on, or as I was saying the questions. I did a live Zoom yesterday that I was streaming into a group. And I had done this before, but what happened is I was going live and I went to stream the Zoom into the Facebook group, and there was this like an echo because of the delay. And I was like, what is going on? I've done this before. But what happened was, as I realized later, because I was recording it, thank goodness, I was trying to stream that live, that Zoom, into the wrong place. It was going to my personal page as opposed to my business group, the challenge group that I was trying to get it into. So the universe like had this little kerfuffle, and I'm like, what's going on? And that made me realize it when I went back to look and say, okay, why is this not here? What happened? But in the meantime, we kept going and we had a great time, and I had a good chuckle, and everyone who was on at the time had a good chuckle hearing this in stereo. And then we went on and had a fabulous session. So just a little story to hopefully give you a little bit of perspective and insight on how things can work and how you might be able to look at the lessons about them. So thank you guys. Let me know what your thoughts are and which of the questions resonates most with you. If you know someone who might benefit from this information, either tag them in the comments or share out the video, because the more we can spread this and help people get through Mercury retrograde positively, the better off we are. So thanks, guys. I will talk to you soon.